stop being a jerk to the guy. The guy's here trying the gym, trying to work out. So don't be a jerk. Encourage him, help him out. And then 2 weeks later, there's another trainer working out a woman, and it was like a totally like flip of a personality. You are doing so great. If you need a breather, take a breather. How are you doing emotionally right now? Like, I think someone who caters to where your head is a gold mine. Someone who's like, okay, what are you thinking right now? That way you can verbalize, well, I'm thinking that I'm really in a lot of pain. I'm not trying to push myself. Okay, let's take a break. Let's do this a different way. I think that's a really good start. Like, if the person cares where your head's at versus how much they think they can make your body better, I think that's a great way to start, because it's an emotional thing. Like I said, it's all emotional. Everybody's got their own unique makeup. And no matter how much a trainer thinks they can make a muscle perform better, you can always make a muscle perform better, but the most important muscle is your brain. You know, so find somebody that caters to the way you think. You know, they always say in sports, you know, it's 90% mental toughness. So why don't we find trainers and coaches who know how to help us with the mental toughness?
Yes. Yes. And, you know, it's funny because in my practice, I always say, like, my number one rule for myself is shut up and listen. And
there you go.
That's what it is, you know, is your trainer listening to what your goals are, or are they listening to what their goals are? And the best trainers, the ones that I know and respect, are the ones that are like, okay, this is what you want to do. You know, I know people that what their goal is that they can pick up their grandchild without pain.
Mm-hmm.
That's their goal.
Love it.
Well,
love it.
Work with them in a whole different way than I'm going to work with someone that says, I want to compete at a, you know, Olympic level. Yep. They're two different goals. I'm not going to treat them the same way. And I'll never know that if I don't shut up and listen and let people tell their story and hear their story. And I'm going to be honest, I enjoy talking a lot. So
so do I. Don't worry. You're not alone.
It's a constant reminder. Great. Okay. So is there anything you want to share about anything else that you'd like to share about your fitness journey, or are there any other tips or tricks that you can help us out with before we move on?
Well, I think for me, the one thing I always like to share with people is to focus on breaking the stereotype. I think if you understand that there are so many stereotypes out there that life automatically throws you in, that I don't think we're meant to live by that stereotype. I don't think everybody is meant to fit into a certain genre of person. Just because it's on trend to do this doesn't mean you have to do it if it makes you feel uncomfortable or you don't like it. I would encourage everybody to really stop, sit back, and look at yourself and say, what is it about me that I think is unique and awesome and different, that makes me smile when I think about this trait that I have? And then whatever that is, write it down and just hold on to it and embrace it. That's how it's in the finding. Finding is fantastic. Isn't it? Life's always fantastic. It's that you have to find it. And it's one of the hardest things in the world to do. But if you set out on a journey to do this thing, to be willing to break the stereotype, to be willing to be authentic and accept everything you think is weird about yourself, all of a sudden you're going to be like, oh my God, today was a great day. And a day turns into a week turns into a month. So break the stereotype.
That's so powerful. And I think especially coming from you, because if you didn't break the stereotype, you would be a basketball player that can't play basketball. And that's where it would have ended. And that, when I think about that, it's so powerful. That's so amazing. And I think you're right. It's like, what are people thinking I am? And what am I thinking I am versus who I really am? That's amazing.
Yep.
I love that.
Yep. It's like, and then after basketball, I tried to fit into this other stereotype of corporate business person. It was like I was this square trying to fit into a hole, you know, and until I realized, stop, just free. You are completely unique and different. You don't have to be identified by this certain, block. It was a game changer.
Right. And now that you say that, I realize, because some of my listeners will know that I switched careers when I turned 40. So I spent 20 years pretending a corporate person that I wasn't. So,
hey, and how you feel now? You living a good life now? You got a podcast, which is awesome.
Amazing. And like you said, it's amazing, but it's not amazing every day. And there are days out, and there are days that are not great. But it's finding that fantastic thing in each and every day, or in the moments. And yeah, I'm 100% happier than I ever had been.
Nice.
Because now I can just be myself. I mean, I get to wear athletic clothes to my job every day. Who does?
There you go.
So yeah.
There you go.
All right. So, what are the best ways? Because I know you're so engaging and people are going to want to engage with you. What are the best ways we can connect with you? Where can we go to find out more about Finding the Fantastic?
Absolutely. So I am on all the podcast apps. So Spotify, your Apple podcast app, Stitcher, you name it. Just check me out on any podcast app if you want to listen to the podcast. But I record. The podcast, I record the record. Oh my God. I record my podcast on Facebook Live and on video at the same time. So you can also find me on Facebook at Finding the Fantastic. You can find me on Instagram or Instagram TV at Finding the Fantastic. I am all over every social you can think of except for Twitter. I don't tweet because I have learning disabilities, and y'all don't want to see the spelling that if I had to post a status. So anything except for Twitter, you can find me.
All right, perfect. And I love that you make your show so accessible to people through many different avenues. Like, it's great. Like, if I'm on Instagram, watching on IGTV, I'm like, great, I caught it. I can download the podcast. I can watch it on Facebook as well. Colleen.
Absolutely. We also got cool merch. This is a brand new thing for me. I was like, people were asking for t-shirts. And I'm like, I got an idea. Let's do t-shirts and sweatshirts. And everybody who gets one, what we're going to do is we're going to take pictures. I'm going to have everybody take pictures. So, like, let's say you're having a bad day. You're going to take your T-shirt, your sweatshirt, whatever, put it on, take a picture. Now, I tell people, if you want to take a glass of wine, a glass of bourbon, or if you're under 21, a chocolate bar, or whatever it is, whatever makes you happy, take a picture with it and use the hashtag Finding the Fantastic. Get it to me, and I'll post it all over my social media.
I love it. I can't wait for my shirt to come in. I'm super excited about it. And I definitely have a glass of wine with my T-shirt for sure.
Yes.
All right. And then where can people purchase the T-shirts? Through your website or?
Yeah. It's on all the links are on all the socials. So Facebook, there's a link, Instagram link, all those things.
Fabulous. All right. Well, Colleen, I want to thank you so much for speaking to us today. As whenever I speak with you, I am inspired, motivated. I'm so ready for the day, ready to find my family. I will, of course.
I love it. Thank you for having me.
Yes. And of course, like we discussed earlier, I'll have all the links mentioned in the show notes, along with the best ways to connect with Colleen and a link to her podcast. Again, Colleen D. Tiberius Shumaker with Finding the Fantastic podcast. Thank you.
Woo!
All right. And I want to say thank you to you, the Nova Weekend Warrior listeners. As always, you can find and rate Nova Weekend Warriors on iTunes, Stitchers, most places you find your podcasts, and at massagetherapybymeg.com/podcasts. I've been hearing from more and more of you lately through social media, the website, and through email. So I want to thank you very much and keep the comments and feedback coming. You can catch Nova Weekend Warriors each Wednesday, featuring 15 to 20-minute conversations with the people who make Northern Virginia run, cycle, climb, lift, and swim. Until my next episode, have a great week, have fun with your fitness goals, and enjoy each new challenge you set for yourself or that comes your way. Bye!